Hello, guys. We're live, and
Hello.
Anne was on time tonight, and I was just running a wee bit late as usual, uh, standing her up. So I hope everybody's here. I'm just got to get the chat up, Anne, and we'll wait because it's unexpected. Because I thought Anne was doing it on Anne's channel, and it
I
wasn't
got
until
mixed up.
5-10 minutes ago I realised that we get mixed up.
Yeah.
So hopefully, I've shared this the link to Anne. So hopefully, it should be getting played on Anne's channel
Mm.
as well as Humble Dryer, the official Humble Dryer, and Anne. So Anne, if somebody, one of my mods, can share Anne's channel as well, just so anybody that's in here. And the subject matter tonight, as well for most of the night, will be. I'll let Anne tell you that.
The pop-up grass in the shed and the way he's been grassing me up. And I'm not very happy because at the end of the day, he came out with the most horrendous hate speech towards me and horrendous bullying towards me in the past. And I never once reported him. And then he let it slip last night. He took those comic videos, and they were obviously comedy, and tried to make out that I was sexually harassing him. I mean, honest to God, would anyone seriously want to sexually harass that smelly, dirty old man? I
No,
mean, with his scrubby owl fingers and his smelly shed. Good God, I know I'm desperate, but I'm not that desperate, John. I can tell you now, I'm not that one bit desperate. God, blimey. Do you know what? I'd be booking myself in for a bleeding another mental health checkup like it happened to me years ago. Oh God, I've gone mad and fancy on that frigging thing that's just been dug up from some graveyard. So,
do you not find it's a bit sad, Anne, that, like, for example, like, let's give Paddy's wife a wee mention here, but no, his first wife Maureen. We know she's well
you
away
mean the
from
pop
him.
up? You mean the pop up grass
Yeah,
guy?
sorry. The
Yeah.
pop-up grass, the pop-up
Mm.
pedo, whatever we want to call him. Like, pop-up pedo actually sounds kind of right, because the fact
Uh,
that he's never took the lie detector test for the spam that get put into his computer, and said his son refused to do a lie detector test, shows the kind of strength of a man. Uh, where he was quite happy for his son to be looked at for downloading spam, which, by his own words, included images of children. So I think it's a wee bit desperate of a man to kind of put his son in the firing line,
yeah.
especially when the son was that young at the time. I mean, that's even more
Mm.
a concern. I mean, I don't know exactly what age he was, but I don't think he was certainly high school, was he? Was he most kind of before the ages of high school?
I don't know. I'm gonna clue. You see, I never. I hardly ever watch him because of his filthy mouth. I don't like that. I don't like people going there. And every second word, that's because he's like, you can tell he's the only word I can use is backward. He's not fully there, intelligence wise. But um now what disgust this what's actually disgusted me, John. It really, really has. It's like everything about him just cut because people used to say to me, say, no, he genuinely is horrible. And I'd say, yeah, but he's got a funny side to him. But if to turn
Yeah,
round then and do something like that when I've let go so much that he's done much, much horrible things he's done. And now also there's this trying to crawl up Decca's ass. Why?
yeah, yeah,
Because he wants to use Decca and his followers. He's got no moral standard. He uses people. And it's like, I was made up, someone put a video out of him that he's tried to get rid of off his channel, where he's screaming about, I think I don't know, is he screaming about Steve or not Steve, he's screaming at someone and saying that, basically saying that, the young girl Amy,
yeah,
that
yeah,
um, it was horrendous that they wouldn't believe the young girl and all this, and they were discussing and all this, and screaming about Decca. And yet
yeah,
now it's like, oh, I want to use. Do you know what? That horrible owl git. I've said this and about other people, and I'll say it about him now. if a child was being abused in the room next door to him, if he thought he could make something of the abuser and use that abuser, he'd turn a blind eye to us. And I've met people like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I need to agree with you there, and it's not just because I dislike him tremendously. It's what the way I look at it is we're out here and we protect his wife. Yeah, the wife that doesn't live with, and we protect her. We protect her name. We protect exactly where she works and all the rest of it. And even because I've spoken to people who detest Paddy and said, no matter what, John, make sure his wife is always protected through this, because the truth being known, she's terrified of him. She's terrified of him. And this person had no need to lie about his wife being terrified of him. She had no need to. At the end of the day, I think that's why he keeps the cats and that there, because I think if it wasn't for the cats and her love for animals, and if she could take them animals away without him, or maybe having a few days, I would like to see Paddy remanded for a couple of weeks, because I think that would let the women do a clear break from him. Because she's terrified, and you see the way he goes on at us. You imagine being, like a woman who is not timid. She's not into that kind of behaviour. You could imagine him just flying off the rocker with her.
He's just, it's like when he's sitting there laughing, even the laugh isn't normal. He's got an effect. He's got some. It's like it's a child it's grotesque, a child in an old man's body, and the laugh is just like, more or less like a toddler does. He actually stops, and it's like, the way a child does.
Yes.
And when the child cries, they'll suddenly stop. You just see this gob opening up. And then you think, here we are, here comes the cry, here comes the cry. We've all seen it with kids. And then they go, yeah, he's like that. He's really is retrograde in his age, he is. But no, I get what you mean. You wouldn't want him as a partner, and you certainly wouldn't want him as a
Well,
parent.
he's certainly created a shitstorm for others, because if it wasn't for him, others wouldn't be in my crosshairs right now. And everything happens for a reason, and it's a small world. Now I've been landed with, like today, for example, I had one of his associates who he keeps right by his words of it. Tries to keep them out of trouble and all the rest of it. I had one of his associates, friends, trying to get word to me about one of the Freeman's kids, and trying to get me to say exactly where the Freeman's kids go to, or where I'll say his name, where John Freeman drops his kids off. Now, I've spelt the place wrong deliberately, because I think somebody was hoping that I would maybe tell somebody way in the background. And I don't want blood in the streets. I'm not interested in people's kids going to school and that. So I've let John Freeman know with a deliberately spelling the place where he drops the kids off, because I don't know John and Ben Freeman, but I do know that through Paddy's associate, his friend and cousin of the Freeman, Stephen Freeman, is responsible. Again, the John and Ben Freeman branded Stephen Freeman. And if you're not familiar with Stephen Freeman, and the gym incident. The gym incident was seemingly okayed. So what happens is, let's say somebody's going to get taxed, and there's maybe somebody going to get robbed or whatever. What the likes of Paddy's associate, I'll name him, Davy Hislop would go and threaten you. And let's say you've got the suitcase. He'll go and threaten you, use the Freeman's names, so that all you ever hear everywhere is the Freemans. The Freeman's done this, the Freeman's done that. We've got an army of 200 or 300. We're known for digging up things. And all you hear is the Freeman's names. You don't really hear that you have Davy Hislop and the cousin Stephen, because he's not really classed. He's a cousin. It's John and Ben Freeman. It's the clever ones. And I'm thinking, why on earth do you let these people who's been known for NFA this left, right, and centre. So are they happy to work with police informers, or do they not know what's happening out there? Are they getting a percentage of what's getting taxed off people? Because if they are, they've taken a hellish lot of mistakes, and people are really fed up with it and fighting back now. And like the way I see it is, they Freemans must have okayed for something to happen in Newcastle last year. There's been 8 or 9 rearrests there in the last. I think there's been 11 rearrests up to total and 44 or something arrests all in. I mean, we didn't hear a Paddy Conroy, the pop-up pedo. Sorry, Paddy, you can hit me with a privacy complaint there. I don't really care. I think they are. You can see. Was he rearrested? No, he wasn't.
I haven't got a
He
clue
asked
about
himself
them.
why.
To the truth, John, I haven't got a clue about that side of it. I've been watching it. I saw the video, that's all I saw, but I haven't got a clue about the rest of it.
But you do know about. We'll bring me Cookie into it, Anne, because you've been very good with the miss imprisonment. Can Cookie get imprisoned there for absolute nothing?
Nothing.
What he done? What happened to Cookie getting recalled on a life license? Where Paddy was helping, asking people to report Cookie to his probation officer, do this, do that. And then when it came to it, I mean, well, you speak to Cookie's partner. You had her on a podcast, and what do you think of that?
Well, this is it. When I first heard it, because I remember the day it happened, because Cookie contacted me by phone and he was telling me this was before the police called, but he had a doom and suspicion something was going to go up. And I was like, when you're in that situation, and he was saying, I wasn't there, I wasn't even there. And Flossie was saying she was well away from the farm. She wasn't on top of the farm like was made out. Anyway, I thought, well, I'll wait until the court case happens and we hear what happens in the court case. But the next thing, what happened was, there was no court case as such, was there? He was just put inside. Then I heard what had come out of the police investigation and all this, and it was exactly what the two of them had said, exactly the same. Not one thing had changed. Now, if they'd been making it up on the spur of the moment, they would never have, they wouldn't have been able to keep it straight. They would have added to it. So definitely Cookie wasn't there, and he's in there, and to have that so-called gangster, the pop-up grass, which is a grass, he's going on about, he's trying to get people now to report Craig. He's hoping that I'll get reported, though I don't know what the hell I'm getting reported for, or Craig for that matter. Anyway, so he is, and this is it. I thought that they didn't do that. I thought on pain of death, so-called gangsters didn't squeal on other people.
Well, to be honest, Dan, I think Cookie is a prime example of how Paddy's managed to do it to others over the years. A prime example, except everybody could see it this time. Now, people maybe come to me and say, why are you giving him any sympathy? He murdered somebody, he's a murderer, blah, blah, blah. He was convicted of murder. He made a big, big mistake. He went and done his time for it. He'd been out since 2016 or something, I believe. I thought Cookie had only just got out and appeared in Paddy Conroy's as his admin. He seemed to be all right when he was doing everything for Paddy. He was the best thing since sliced bread. But as soon as he asked Cookie to commit perjury for on behalf of Viv Graham's murder, that's when Cookie said, no, I'm not doing that for you, because Paddy basically wanted Cookie to set a couple of people up. Cookie was having no part of it. And I think that was where the shit kind of hit the fan there for Paddy. And then Paddy came out with, what happened to you and Cookie? I found Cookie, he was recording me. Well, I spoke to Cookie before he got jailed. He was on the podcast with us. And I asked Cookie, behind the scenes, did you ever record them? He went, John, he never ever called me recording them. He wasn't interested in recording them.
It's like that. It's the same as me there. I don't go around recording people. Private conversations. If I'm going to record someone, I say, look, do you mind, but I'm going to record this, and there's a reason to do that. I think there's nothing more dirty more nasty than
Yes.
someone sneakily recording the conversation and not telling the person, because the simple reason is, especially when they're friends, John, and they've got no reason to distrust each other. I mean, look at me and Paula. Me and Paula aren't the best friends now. I had conversations with her, but I would never release those conversations into the public domain, because when we were talking, they were private. And they stay private. I don't care how much I dislike her or she dislikes me. It's not going to happen. And cookies like that. Cookies got one thing that the
unless you were pushed into a corner and who you left. Like I had to put out a couple with somebody. I thought a nurse was trying to set us up. We asking us to get if I wanted people's medical records, and I felt like I was trying to get set up, and I thought, you know what, I'm not even giving this. I wouldn't even be giving any to the police. I just put it out there. I said to Donna, that's getting recorded, because there's no way I'm getting set up with saying, yeah, go and get such and such medical records, or go and edit somebody. I couldn't be any part of that.
When someone does that, they actually start playing safe games, and you have to protect your own integrity. Then, because I did that with someone who I got the blame. Out of the blue, I was just blamed because they were doxxed. And I said, why would I be bothered doxing you? I don't like, I never said it to them. I said to the person that was blaming me, I said, I don't like them. I haven't spoken to them for months. They can stay well away from me. I said, why the hell would I be bothered doxing them? I don't even know what the name is. But when I looked at me Facebook old messages, I could see the name was there. But what happened was, it became this. I was getting the blame and publicly being slated. So I thought, right, you little SHITs. What I'll do now is let people know what you're like. So I just released one bit of a conversation, one bit, and it blasted them out of the water, because I thought, let's see what you're like, you manipulator.
And can you just take the stage right now? I've just had a notification there on my WhatsApp to say somebody's put Davy Hislop's Nana's dress up, and I'm going to take it down if that's the case, and I'll be back in a second. I'll give you the stage here. 2 seconds, I'll be back.
Hello, everyone. Well, I've got the stage now, centre stage. How is everyone doing? How are you, Cindy, love? And Julie's, where have you been? You've been absent from your duties as a moderator the last couple of times. Would you like to be a moderator on my chance? Well, Cindy. How are you, Super Common? Callie. Don't know. She vanished. Apparently she's doing all right, but she just went out of the public domain, didn't she? But apparently she's still all right. Oh, Cindy, you're not supposed to say, yeah, Anna, don't mind. You're supposed to, like Jules did, say what a wonderful honor it is. You can't believe. Can I repeat it? Your ears can't believe the honor that has just been bestowed upon you. No, I don't mind. Can you hear that, Julies? I don't mind. Do you remember the way you, Julies, were overcome with awe and were absolutely, well, there were tears in your eyes, weren't there, with the joy of us being asked? What's that?
Okay, and I'm back. What it was, somebody's had posted Davy Hislop's Nana's address, and as much as he's responsible for a lot of Nanas getting petrified and terrified, etc., I'm not having his Nana's address up there, so I've just went and I've deleted it. So please, guys, anybody, don't go and put up grandmother's addresses, and at the end of the day, it's not their fault. And the grandson's a fucking reprobate. So I just went and removed that there. So thanks to the person that WhatsApped me there. Thank you. Hang on.
Just answer a question here. What's happened to Countdown? Did she go to prison? She went to prison for killing someone in a road accident, didn't she? But she didn't stay there for very long for some strange reason. But she's not in prison now.
Just got to come in. Exit solo layout. I'm back. So yeah, sorry guys, sorry. Right, and another thing, have you ever looked into Operation?
Oh, you've gone off, John.
Sorry, my mic went there. I'll be back. 2 seconds. Sorry, somebody's trying to call me there. Have you ever looked into the Operation? Oh God, the one that Paddy Conroy keeps saying he was mentioned in. It's 140 odd pages on.
Oh, I don't know. It's been a few of them, hasn't it?
The one they said he was blamed for all these murders. Anyway, cut a long story short, I'll put the link. Actually, I'll send.
You mean?
I'll
Oh,
send
wait
you.
a minute. You keep on saying caddy. I think that you're looking for a tea caddy, aren't you? You keep on saying caddy, John, by accident. It's pop-up grass.
See that, Mark Chapman? You're an absolute roaster, mate. See you there. See you. Excuse me, put your covers over your ear, and this here is a fucking full-on nonsense. This in here. You go and suck my root, you. The next time you say anything to me on Twitter, you at least stand by your mouth and at least wait till I answer you. So I've answered you tonight. So chase yourself off my channel, you absolute fanny. Be off of you.
Who is he? I've heard of him.
I don't know. I think, see, to be honest, I think he's some big short-legged slug. You know, he kind of talks like he's you know, as if he's got short legs or something. He's just an absolute nonsense. Chase yourself. Any of my mods in there, wipe that and right off the fucking face of the earth.
Anyway.
See you later, Mark. See you later, Mark. Don't darken my doorstep again. You don't control nothing here, I do. Be off of you. Take him away, guys.
Do you know another thing to talk about? Mr. Heggie Rice. Now, this is what gets me. This is my views on what's happened recently. And I know people are saying he's saying nasty things about me. Let him. Look, it doesn't bother. Look, I'm not good. I'm no pop-up grass in the shed. I'm not going to report some rights. I'm not going to do that. That's just not my thing. If he wants to slag me off, let him slag me off. I only report people when they go grassing on me. You know, that's the way I do it. I should have been a gangster, shouldn't I? John, I should
Operation Insight and Operation Insight. That's what we need. We need your police, the police head on you here. And Operation Insight. This is what the pop-up pedo keeps referring to when he get named and blamed for all these murders. Yeah, and I'm not the best of readers, and however, I did ask the lovely Donna to help me out one night. I said, "Can you just, because she can read a book in a day? I'm there all year." I said, "Can you do us a favour?" I said, "Tell me how many times Paddy's name's mentioned in that." And do you know how many times we found his name mentioned? None. None.
But when he won't, not caddy. Stop going on about caddies. If you want a tea caddy, go and get one. But pop up grass.
It's my speech impediment, and it's
your speech impediment.
Caddies, yeah.
It's those, because what I've got to explain to people, right, is that John is on medication because of his foot, and it keeps on going on. He was saying to me the other day that he'd love to have a real Indian, Victorian Indian tea caddy, or Georgian, sorry, very expensive Georgian tea caddy. So I said I'd ask my good friend, Cami, in other words, Queen Camilla, if she had a spare Georgian tea caddy to give to John, and he keeps on coming out with this because of the medication. But yeah, pop-up. Let's go on about the pop-up grass, right?
Pop-up grass.
Well, he wants to be famous. This is it. He wants to be famous, and that will be fame to that poor old bugger. You know, that suddenly he's mentioned in some kind of, investigation, some operation. Oh, that's because I'm famous. Because you remember the 15-part Netflix series that they're going to do about his life? What were they going to film? That would have been a boring show. 3 of them concerning when he robbed sweeties from a shop.
Yeah, or when they took single mothers' Monday books off and put their windies in if they didn't pay double bubble.
Yeah,
I'm quite. Just be saying that you can see where the kind of education has fell upon the other ones. You know, they like to go about breaking windows too, like school kids, but I mean, they're a serious outfit. Have you seen the shape of one of them? Wait a minute to find the shape of one of them, actually. Where is he?
Oh,
Where
I
is
know
he?
what this is going to be.
There he's there. See how I done a deliberate spelling mistake, because at the end of the day, I'm not putting any of these kids in danger. David, son, so Esquire, head sloped. So you can just go and sit in the corner. This is Stephen. This is Stephen. Stephen, where are you? Come back, wherever you are. This is Stephen there. Do you see the MTK Global sign up at the back of him, man?
Yeah.
Stephen likes to portray himself as the next Kinahan. Yeah, I don't know where John and Ben's sitting with him, but at the end of the day, he has brought a lot of heat. Has Stephen here, because Stephen recruited this one, and then you've got the mighty midget, yeah, whose dad is DCI. Paul.
Come on, John. You're talking
Mm-hmm.
about these all the time. Let's talk about Decca and the pop-up grass, because
All right. Well, okay. So we'll get back to you later, Egg Chapel. That's his nickname, Egg Chapel.
Because I don't really know about these people at all.
And do you know anything about teeth? Have you ever seen teeth like that on a cage fighter?
Well, I can't talk about teeth. Mine are in a terrible condition there, and I can't. People
I
say
bet
get
they're
them
not as
done.
bad. I bet they're not as bad as that.
Oh God.
Oh, them.
Anyway, talking about Decca, right, and what's going on there. I was watching it, right, though, when he was doing the colon, the acro office, but this one I can't work out. I mean, I might be wrong, because it was very sophisticated if he did it. But I thought that you couldn't contact them, that they couldn't get the system up. Because I remember when I worked with the police, right? No, if the system went down, you couldn't get on the system at all for days. So you couldn't check. If someone phoned you up and said, "Can you check that this is real?" Say, or check something on the system, the logs, you couldn't, because the whole system's down. And the reason it has to go down, if they get a virus, it can go right through the whole of the force in no time at all.
To be honest, Dan, I'd have thought under data protection, you would have. I don't. Right, the only way to somebody asked me tonight, and I said the only way you could do this to see if they would give out information under data protection, which is quite a big thing. However, over the past year, under certain things, data protection has been broken quite a lot with people. It's meant to be professional, but you could phone up and say, "Look, I want to sponsor some event. However, tied to this event is somebody with a conviction of sexual assault. I have asked them to send me his SAR acro, for example. I would just like you to clarify if this a serial number that I give you is a real document." And they would either say yes or no, or I can't tell you under the data protection. I mean, at the end of the day, you would agree here, Anne, right? So the 55 pages is on this channel, okay? We put our name to it. Would you say if anybody made up any false documentation, like I said, SAR acro, access subject fucking report, what would you say that would involve heavy jail time for making up false documents?
I don't know. I know that anything to do with the police that's restricted, it would be. But I've never, until I see someone that's actually been pulled for it, I don't know. But the thing which gets me is that how this has been out there for how long? How many years?
Oh God, June, was it June? Maybe was it? I think, Anne. Try
Well,
remember me.
It's been out there for a long time. The first thing I would have done was got onto the police and said, "Look, oh my God, they put out this, and it's not real, nor this business."
Yes, that's what I mean. Yeah.
But the thing is, what I can't work out, this is the whole thing about this situation. When he was doing it, he gave his name, his date of birth, was quite happy to do that on camera. Then he walked out the room to whisper the reference number Now, that was, now I don't know 100% for sure, but you know, if say that you report an instance to the police, it will be given a log number. Well, when you report another instance to the police, you get a new log number. You don't get exactly the same log number. And I'm just wondering if an old acro would have one number, and then an up-to-date one would have another number. So if you gave the old one in, you'd get told, oh yeah, it's this, but it wouldn't be relevant to what's there now. Do you get what I'm saying? That's where I'm
what I'll
questioning.
do, Anne, I'm putting my name to this again. I'm going to play page 42 of 55,
No
if it
further
plays here.
action. Originator 03 Cumbria Constabulary. Offence description. Cause, incite a girl under 13 to engage in sexual activity. No penetration. Offence dates 1603-04 to the 15th of the 3rd 05. Disposal NFA. No further action. 0901-07.
So that's all I'm going to play that. So that's page 42 of 55. Now, we all know he's already put his name to this NFA when he spoke about, and I'm not going to remember to say the girl's name, but he spoke about a little girl.
Yeah,
and he mentioned her name, and the video was viewed 60,000 times or something. I seen just one video. So I don't know, in his 37 pages that he claims is right, the other night there, when I went on, after waiting 4 years, and he cut me off, I asked him, I was leading up to asking him, on what page of the 37 has your NFA that you've already put your name to, of the 11-year-old girl, what page is it on? But he cut me off before I got there. And I think that there was, he probably knew where I was heading to. And at the end of the day, you could see his hand slipping. I asked him to keep his hand away. There was no way I was going to cut myself off mid-sentence. No. I screen recorded it also, at least that to back me up. That he cut me off, put me backstage. Last night, he actually blocked me from his live stream, which again I recorded. But I mean, I'm just going round in circles. It's like, how stupid are people? Well, if I was to have made up that false document, or anybody done it, we'd be looking at the way I look at it. If somebody done it about me, I'd hope they'd get 5 to 10 years, if not a bullet in the brain.
Just tell us. You said something before we came on. Wasn't you said that someone had actually picked up that he slipped up during when he was talking about the days of the
Yes, he slipped up tonight. I think Ebenezer Greensplat has spotted it. I think Dodgy Dave's put a video on it. And he basically went, but everybody's seen it. It was 2019. I mean, January 2023 I got it. Now, I'm going to look tonight, if I've got time, to see exactly where it stopped in 2019.
Yeah.
Because that'd be interesting. Take everything away from anything after 2019. Now, 2019, you remember he said he was going to produce things like his enhanced DBS check and his full criminal record. But what he did another trick like Cyclops done, and he put up his court. So if you go to court, and you're doing in the court cells, you'll get a list of your previous offences. It's a kind of shut down version of them. It doesn't give you much detail at all. It's just a thing that your lawyer, the Procurator Fiscal in our case in Scotland, will hand down the stair before you went up into court. So it was a good time. If you thought you'd lay all weekend with somebody a wee bit dodgy, as soon as they get their paperwork in, I've seen them grasped out of people's hands in the court cells to see what they were really in for. And I've seen a few people getting a fucking proper pasting in because they were in for a naughty. You always knew the one that was in for the naughty, because if you're in the holding cells in the court, there used to be a toilet. And then there'd maybe be half a dozen to 8, maybe even 10 people in this one cell. And you always knew the one that was worth keeping an eye on, because it'd always sit in the toilet, strangely enough, closer to the door. If it kicked off, they could get on the door, rattling on the door. Yeah, that was the kind of thing I learnt. and it was only that's exactly Decca done exactly what the Beast of York done. Cyclops, he done exactly the same as Decca, and then when it came to his acro, the Cyclops missed out 3 year. You remember? And I'm going to give Steve Clark credit where credit's due here. At the time, he was proper after us on behalf of Decca, but it was him that actually noticed that Tony Burkett had missed out 3 year or something. And the years he was missing falls into what's been coming out lately. Now, there's a wee whisper that Cyclops' acro was already got a long time ago. Before he went on the hunt. This is what I'd say. So Tony Burkett's phoned up the acro office and put in complaints and the acro officer said, "Oh, somebody's tried to get your acro." I believe he's fired my name in, which is fine. At the end of the day, I'm innocent. I have no comment to make if somebody did apply for it. I was actually pressing for his Sarah's and Claire's law, which was got. I believe Tony Burkett's also made another police complaint that I have bullied somebody into doing this for them, which is fine if that's what he wants to go and put complaints in about things like that. I'm quite happy for to take the brunt of it if he leaves people alone, i.e. females. He's just another Decca Heggie, but he's desperate for friends. You know, it's like him being up in the Patches, the Tea Caddy's office shed, along with the minion there. What do you call him? Him. How to find him? Oh, Egg Chapel. When he was up in Egg Chapel, Egg Chapel was up in the office, the shed of the Tea Caddy, and made some wild statements, to be honest. And when I seen him sitting there with the Tea Caddy, and he said, "Ken, this is the shed of truth, the war shed." I thought, wow, you're meant to be a businessman, and you're taking the word of a well-known grass. I thought, well, maybe you're all grasses. I just find it strange that Dickie Higgy, Paddy, Tea Caddy, Cyclops, they've all got kind of shady charges kind of hanging round about them, and they're all kind of in about each other. Birds of a feather flock together.
But it's all very, very messy. But I tell you what gets me about Decca is I can see it. I can just see it as I'm sitting there. He's so manipulative. He's sitting there, manipulating everyone. And I don't know who these people are that he's got on his show that all, yeah, it's discussing Decca, yeah, bro, bro, it's terrible, bro, and all this. If they don't realise he's sitting there and he's using them as fools, I can see right through. He's using them as right idiots. Very, very manipulative man. That's all
I'm actually just going to upload one of them the other night there, and it's a profile I see quite a lot. This is hello Stu. I bet you wish you never put your camera on accidental the other night there. This is Stu, video Craig managed to capture the other night. Hello Stu, how's it feel to be important for 5 minutes? Everybody wants a wee bit of fame, so we'll give you on the back of Dickie Higgy's name. Dear.
Well, he's
what about Matt Legg? Let's talk about Matt Legg just briefly, Anne, because Matt Legg, as you know, I've got a lot of time for Matt Legg.
Oh yeah.
He's very professional in what he does. Now, I contacted Matt. I said, Matt, you do know he's got to get people to try and troll the life out of you about hitting your son. I didn't need to even ask Matt if he'd hit his son. I knew the story. Matt's son could probably knock 4 Deckers out, yeah. Let's talk when Matt and his son had a fight or a rummel about, if you want to call it that. His son is an adult, yeah, and the two of them clashed. They're best of friends, and I mean best of friends. And yeah, the fact that Decca tried to make it out that Matt Legg had hit his wee boy. Listen, guys, Matt Legg's boy is a full-grown adult and a bit of a laddo as well. So trust me, I think Matt, what he said, if he didn't get you in first, it'd have been the other way around about.
I'll say something about that in a minute, John. But Rob said something that I want to draw this. Is that really Paul Ellis in Decca's chat? I'm very doubtful, or I don't know whether it is or not. I think it might be a
Nah,
fake
I'm
account.
going to agree with you, and I'm going to say no. Right, as much as I don't like Pizza Face, I'm going to say no.
It
There's
doesn't
a
sound like
Paddy
it.
Conroy in his chat, and the folk asked me. I said, "Say to be honest, I don't think so. As much as
Yeah.
he's been in my chat, I don't think so. As
It
much as I
just
don't like the rat, but
it doesn't sound like him. I mean, you just get used to how someone phrases themselves and how they talk when they're on lives, and it just seems it seems manufactured to me to be kiss arsey, that way. And so I'm not convinced that actually
he'll
is
probably be doing it
else.
under a troll account. Yeah, a bit like
Mm.
the pop up pedos. He likes to kind of. I know for a fact because it's the exact same MO as him and other channels that the pop up pedo uses. He's not just got one because it's the
Yeah,
exact same MO. It's said exactly as he would say it. Either that he's telling somebody, I think he may be copying and pasting something to other people to put out. I mean, Danielson likes to make a wee comment or free. Like, is it Ray Bell? That's one of his channels he uses, Ray Bell. And then you've got Terry Hislop. Terry Hislop. I don't know if that's Egg Chapel or not, but certainly kind of similar. Hello, Egg Chapel. We'll be seeing you later. Cheerio.
well, talking about Matt Legg and this thing, see, this is a generational thing as well. I mean, I remember days, and now I mean, I can understand why it happened, because years ago, people, it was expected, actually, your parents were expected to smack you when you did something wrong. That was the way they did it. But of course, you get some parents who used to actually, they wouldn't smack a child, they'd assault and batter a child. Horrendous, absolutely horrendous. So that's why it had to change. But things were different years ago. They were, and people are brought up differently. And it was the expected thing. I remember that. If your parents didn't smack you for being naughty, I'm not talking about for silly little things. I thought, when it's usually when you've done something that could get you in danger. That was the standard thing, but they wouldn't. But again, I say, you got some, and they'd absolutely smash the kids around, which the law had to change for that. But if the two of them are adults, and someone's coming on to you, if you've got a child that's a full grown adult and they're getting physically violent towards you or whatever, of course you're going to protect yourself, aren't you?
Yeah.
That's what's
I'm
going to
just
happen.
having a wee look in the chat here, guys. Like to put my face to it. Bobby from the Real Honest Truth. How you getting on, my man? I see you've been busy there. Guys, Bell Ringer as well. Bell Ringer has been at this as long as I have. He's got his own reasons for being here. I don't know why. I've never asked him. And he's a good guy. He does a wee bit of due diligence and things.
Did you see Bobby the other day on Decca's? And the bleeding dog, he was being dead serious, Bobby, and I had to laugh. Next thing, this little chihuahua jumps on the back of him, and I thought, that's just taking away the seriousness of it. Bobby giving out and the little chihuahua on his shoulder.
See, Bonistan, I didn't see NFG, I didn't see Bobby because I thought Decca was going to go live at 4 o'clock. I set my phone alarm so I didn't miss it because of the time difference out here in Kuala Lumpur. And I thought, right, okay, I'm not got. And then the next thing, I got a few messages and I got a phone call saying he's live, and I said, I seen it earlier, and they went, no, he's live now, and I went, you're fucking joking. So by the time I got on, I caught the last 5 minutes, as everybody's aware. I only lasted a minute, and he cut me off because I'd waited so long to go on, and then when he let me on, he tried to let me, if he was innocent, yeah, and you'd waited 4 years. Oh, this is the first. Hello, John. I like the tash. He tried to make friends with me. I tried
He's
to
a
kind of find common
manipulator.
ground. You wouldn't have been like that. You'd have been absolutely chapping at the bit, wouldn't you?
This everything he says, I said this the other day. I don't know if it was to you or someone else said. I was searching the video. There's something really off here, and it's really off with Decca, because I'm sorry, what you've just said is one point of it. You would not go out of your way to be nice to someone who'd done that. I said this to Craig the other day.
No
if
chance.
if you'd acted towards me like you'd acted towards him, and Craig has acted towards me like he has towards Decca, I'd be absolutely saying, right, I want these two in court for stalking. I wouldn't be making friends with you. And, oh, are you all right, Nora? How are you doing? There's something very manipulative about him, and you can't trust the word. The only word you can use is he's like a groomer. He grooms people. It's like, oh yeah, and I say these people are all shouting for, oh, it's wrong. Yeah, it's like what Craig said. Said all they do is sit there and agree with everything he says. They don't question him. They agree with everything he says. And what I can't understand, why are they getting so upset on his behalf? Why are they getting upset?
Maybe because some of them has maybe actually got allegations or such. Like, I mean, here's one for example. I wait to find them. There was a young boy, is it Alfie Dunstan or something that was on his live. It turns out, just in a quick Google search, and he's another one threatening to rape his missus and stuff like that. So I think he does attract people. The sad thing about it, he also attracts people who have been 100% wrongly accused of things. Because people think, that first they think, oh, I was accused of that and I was totally innocent. And that there has been guys that was 100% totally innocent. Girls, they lie. Men lie. Girls lie, and I think he attracts people, and then they kind of find the hard bloody lesson it that, wait a minute, this guy's no innocent.
Yes, you're right there in what you're saying, because remember, this is one of the things when the Stig, won't give it, his name's out there, but when the Stig was talking to me in 2018, I was trying to say to him at one point, so you have to be careful. Not every parent that's banned, not meaning him, I don't know the full circumstance, so I'm not even going to go there about what happened with his kids, I don't know. But what I'm saying is that not every parent that has the children taken off them is a victim. Some of them you have to take the kids off them. There are some people, and you think it would have been better if social services had never got involved in their lives. But there are children that get taken away, and but what happens is they suddenly become, because they have become a victim of a situation that they perceive to be unfair and could very well be unfair, they suddenly think that everyone is. Likewise, they'll see what's happening to Decca and they'll think, oh, I was a victim. He must be a victim as well. And they don't realise not everyone is. Some people warrant what's happening.
100%. So, Ronan R. Keen, I just want to ask Anne my question, please. To Wason. It's Sir Wason until you get to know me better. But when you go, Ronan R. Keen, at your question, as long as it's not too bad, you might stay. If it's ridiculous, I maybe just flick you off. Be off with you.
If it's insolent.
Roman, isn't that obvious? Dirty Derek is a danger and he's in denial. Awareness is needed. And as he sucks people in every day, leave him be. Imagine what would happen.
He's not in denial. He knows full well.
He's just in plain sight. He's in plain sight using people who's less intelligent than him, and that's not a good day when Decca's more intelligent than you guys.
He's very manipulative. Well, it's not that he's intelligent, but he's very manipulative. And remember, there's an old saying, my mum used to always say this. She'd say, devils are not intelligent, they're just very crafty. And they know how to mix lies with the truth in just the right balance. It doesn't take intelligence to do that. It takes craftiness. That's what it takes. It's not intelligence.
And also, I'm going to put up a wee vote here in the chat. Do you think, right, so let's say, if, for example, I was watching the pop-up pedo the other night there, and he had Anaconda phone in live. Let's just say Anaconda. I don't want privacy hits. Anaconda phoned him in live. She sounded a wee bit intoxicated, I'd be fair to say. And she started saying that she was in talks with somebody who was all over me and had spoken to the Thai government. I'd sold my house to an old woman. I was involved in really, really bad people and all the rest of it. Anaconda. Do you think, guys, that I should just sit there and say nothing? Or do you think I should give out as good is what somebody gives it. Press
I
1
think
if you think I should be giving it out, or 2 if I should just leave it go and let her say whatever she wants. Because
I
I've got
think
a lot of stories about Anaconda, you
I
know,
think you've
and
already
Donnelly.
started.
There's a guy Donnelly who had a don't and I'm not close your ears. He had a willy the length of a horse trailing cable, yeah, and he used to
Oh,
swing it about in bars.
oh.
And I would like to ask Anna Connolly how that man Donnelly got a bleaching. Was it because of something he said, or was it the trailing cable that he so boast of every pub in the land, in the city of Newcastle, etc., that you had?
So can I ask?
Simple question.
Can I ask a question as well? Does he swing both ways?
Well, and to be honest, he actually get not black and blue. There wasn't a bit of him. Even his trot was black and blue. And seemingly used to. This came for a lot of people. He would
No.
happily go into a bar and say, Anaconda has had this length, yeah, where the sun don't shine, on more than one occasion. And basically, that's it. He get the kick in his life. He was black and blue. His trot was black and blue. And I just want to ask Anaconda how it feels with stuff like
Well,
that coming out.
at least Safe Clack got me joke, didn't you? Of course, it went over John's head. It always
It
does.
went right over my head.
Went right over his head, yeah, as usual. That was the funny you said, you know. It was a funny. Does he go both ways? You know, after you said he has, you know. No,
Right.
never mind.
Well,
Never
I'm
mind. You'll
not sure.
catch
I
up.
could find it. I could find it.
Your audience got the joke. Your audience.
Oh, sorry. I'm a bit slow with these things. It's a bit like when Decca's got folk in called I'm a biggie. I have a biggie and all that, and he's chatting. He doesn't. You could catch me out with 1,000 of them. That's how I don't look at the chat.
Watson is the performing monkey. The sick. Roman, you never asked your question that you wanted to ask me.
Wason is the performing monkey in the circus. Well, thank you, Roman Arkeen. Is that as good as you've got? I'm going to star your comment, right? I'm going to star your comment just for make you feel important for the night. I can do that. Next one, please. Anybody else? Anybody with any better ones? Oh no, we've got trouble in. Here we go. We've got Bobby. Question, John and Anne. Can you see the pattern? DH, new gang, are happy to listen to him complain about the trolls. Soon they will move on, just like the last gang. They will tell him to stop moaning. Yeah. Every time he gathers up a new bunch, we gain 90% of that. It happens all the time. I quite like to see these busy periods where, Decca's getting believed for a wee while again, because your subscribers go up, and then you notice like the people that some of my mods and that has been with us for a couple of years, because the at the end of the day it is what it is. Some of my mods I tell to stay out of things because I don't want them getting pulled into things. Because they don't tell me enough. I get my news for further afield.
What I can't understand, I said this before, John, I really can't understand why people, it's just not in my nature, why people go kiss ass. I can't understand it. Yeah, you're right. And they get really upset over what's happening to someone else. It's like, all right, if it's someone that's vulnerable or whatever, they're going through a real injustice. It's like one of my neighbours. He used to get really wound up, and he does have issues where he has to be on medication because he's high anxiety. And I used to say to him, I'd go see him, I'd meet him, or I'd go into the house to talk to him. And suddenly he'd be talking about something that was some celebrity, and they'd said something about, oh, why should they be picking on this poor celebrity? And I'd say, why the hell are you getting so upset about it? It's not your problem. And do you think that celebrity would step sideways to stick up for you if something was being said about you? And he'd suddenly think, oh yeah, you're right. Don't get upset over over someone else's issues. Yeah, you can stand up for them. You can say this is right. You can say that's wrong. But to get so violently upset just seems strange to me. And they really are into, Decca, yes, Decca. And they can't see the glowingly obvious that there's question marks there. real question marks there. I don't know.
And
Maybe
we'll
they're
get
desperate.
proper trouble in.
Oh, I
Motorsports
know.
and oh no.
I left him a message before, right? Because I've done it. I've just done it myself. This is it. He's having a bad effect on me. Moto, you've got to stop saying right all the time when you're doing your videos. It's right, because I'm saying it now. Right, right. And I want to talk about this right. And you know what I'm saying? Right. And I'm starting to say right now, listening to him.
Mark Chapman, do you let rockets off from the bottom of your garden, or are you just a rocket all year round? Do you take a day off? You must be one of the worst rockets. You're like a damp squib. You know the ones you stand back, you've got to hear a bang off you, and you don't. That's what you're just a wee bit of a damp squid, mate.
Hey, well, yes, and Anne is enabling bullies and grasses. No, when have I been with the pop-up grass in the shed? I've never enabled him. Not once.
Mark Chapman and his missus was helping the Shinny scam. Oh, Shinny Davenport, there's a name I've not heard for a while. I bet you this is a night Shinny's proud of you, Mark Chapman, for bringing Shinny and his ripping off of vulnerable women and all the rest of it with his giving out mental health shite advice. I bet you Shinny's proud of you for bringing them onto the big screen tonight, Mark. No, I didn't think so. Is Shinny ripping off any old people abroad anymore?
Here we are, John. This opinion is glass region, and you're a bit of a plum, to be fair. I'm not an uneducated idiot like you, and as much of a plum I am. You were the one begging me to unblock you. So,
Okay, get one of my moderators to share your video of Mark Chapman. Get them to share it into this comment section here. Any of the mods in there, go and get the video off Kay's channel there if she's got anything of Mark Chapman to make him famous tonight. The fat blob of shite that he is. Streak of pish. Sorry, Anne. I'm swearing.
oh, wait a minute. Is that the pop-up grass in your pitch? Oh, no, it's not. It's Jimmy Savile. Sorry, I got it.
No, it's Jimmy Savile, and you've got Diet Chips and Decca behind them. Just peeking there. They're just peeking. It's actually quite a good one. It's kind of Jimmy Savile's welcome Father Flynn and Decca Pekka into the gates of hell.
Hey, I've read this. I'm getting called. Am I getting called Mrs. Adams? Is that me? I believe because of my chair, I'm getting called a Morticia, aren't I? No, Cousin It. Sorry, Cousin It. I love the Adams family. I remember, funny enough, it was you. I'm sure it was you, Opinionated Glass Legion. You did a video ages ago with me, Paul, and someone else, and you put me up as a mortician. I thought it was wonderful. I looked gorgeous. I'd make a lovely mortician.
Kay says Chapman tries to threaten women as he's in a motorbike gang. Oh dear, he's not one of these ones, is he? He's not wearing the Sons of Anarchy jacket going down the tune with the Sons of Anarchy, watching every series back to back. And then fucking sleeps with a light on and he goes home. That's your Mark Chapman for you. Absolute streak of pish. Hello, Fox Cub. I hope you're well, mate. I hope the sun's shining, just like we've got here. Fox Cub's a wee pal.
Anyway, someone saying about Dante's Inferno. If you ever tried to read that, the Divine Comedy, good God, it's hard going.
Now, Purge. I just want to say, mate, I had to go and remove a comment that you left. Somebody messaged me and said that you'd left Davy Hislop's. Please don't bring the grannies and that into it. Anything about Davy Hislop, I don't care. But anything regarding nanas and all that stuff, I'm not interested, mate. Please.
Oh, there's a Mrs. Adams in the chat. Oh, I know Miss Adams. She was made a comment on mine. Oh, yeah, I know now. Thought it was me. I wouldn't mind being compared to Morticia.
On you go, Chapman. Away and get your Sons of Anarchy jacket on, and I'll take a big picture and make you feel famous. As long as you take the 100-watt bulb out your bedroom that you sleep with on every night, because your neighbours are complaining about the fucking light going through the curtains off it. They think they've got a street light outside their window because you're scared of the dark. With your jeans, I heard you get your jeans up around your belly button, your waistline. You stand there like a bell, getting rattled in the morning. Motorsports will send you the link via other means because we've got too many nonce enablers Try to get in the night. Hang on.
Hey.
I'll be back, man. I'll be back.
Didn't Heggie get BGRR? Didn't he get? I might be wrong and heard it wrong. I'm sure he got a hell of a lot. Didn't he get 700 something quid, 750 quid or something? I don't know. I might have heard it wrong or saw it wrong. Well, those son gave him a massive donation. Look, if they want to do that, there's one ball in every minute, isn't there?
It's motorsports. You should have the link there. I've just sent it to you. Hello, Bluebells. The Bluebells are blue. There's Bluebells in the
Hello,
chat.
Bluebells. Miss Balloon Woman. The
Miss
Balloon
Bluebells.
Lady. The Balloon Lady, Miss
Get
Bluebells.
Penny Arcade's Bluebells' favourite tune. You ever heard it? The Penny Arcade song?
No.
Who sung it now? Was it Johnny Cash? Was it Johnny Cash?
Oh, God, I wouldn't be into Johnny Cash. Ugh.
You know, like Johnny Cash?
Nah.
I thought Johnny Cash was good. Especially your Ring of Fire. That's the kind of
he was a
Pop-Up Beatles.
He was a prisoner.
Pop-Up Beatles Rings in Fire.
He was
right, Paul? All right.
He was in the he was a prisoner, wasn't he? I remember years ago he did a concert on the television from a prison.
No, what he done, and the folks in prison allowed him in to do a live gig.
Yeah.
And he promised the governors and all that he'd behave himself and everything. And then he started doing the song I hear the train is coming. It's coming round the bend. And that was basically what happened to you. Oh no, we've got trouble.
Yeah, where he is. And
oh, Jesus Christ. Is that where my sunglasses went? Did you have
What's happening?
Nothing, mate. Nothing. Just doing what I do. They're shady looking glasses you've got, Motorsports. He's just drove into the Clyde Tunnel. The lights are out.
You know he's going to phone me and I'm on the line. Hello.
There's nothing worse. I can't hear you, Motorsports. I can't hear you, mate. You need to turn your volume up. No.
I can hear him.
And I can get away with this for ages.
Oh.
I mean, he's trying to phone her then, and she thinks it known he's going to phone me. You know what I mean? What's happening?
What's been happening? Have you collected any more charges since I gave you a wee word of advice to stay away for the 999 callers? So in quick dial, you've been good boy.
Nearly got ordered that prick yesterday. That's what I nearly did.
I've been.
I don't give a fuck about the police. I've already told you already. Fuck him.
Derek's on his phone as well.
But he's going to grass anyhow. He's well fucking.
Hey.
Fucking,
I bet Moto. This is also being streamed on my channel.
All right.
We don't want dirty words.
I get something to what? Sorry.
Just single words is okay, but you need to leave it a 3.5 minute in between. So
how is it a motor that's already got one?
Aye, cool man. Cool.
No, you just got around there and look, he's sitting there like he's on the notice here.
Aye, the man it cleared. Obviously.
I can't hear him, man.
2 seconds. What kind of motor is it?
Tell me phone me back.
Just know today, send me the details of Robbie going and then I'll phone you, Derek will phone you back yourself after this.
Just in case they're talking about business, I'll mute you in case you're getting the price of your car away there.
I think it is, yeah.
Just give me a thumbs up when you want unmuted. Okay, unmute. There you go, you're back.
Aye, mate. I mean, you hear me alright, aye?
Yeah.
No.
He's a mad sausage, he's a mad sausage, him, man. He went as white as a ghost. I didn't think a face like that could go white, but he went as white as a ghost yesterday. My wee mate spooked him, man. I'm like, what you doing, spooking him, what you doing? Phone me. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's 3 motors on the, well, my motor and 2 other motors on the case. I got there first and he was away. I was like, you know what I mean? He's smashed my face in, so he's got a right to reply, hasn't he? I'll reply to his face. That's what I'll reply. No reply on a computer. I'll reply to his face. You know what
I
If you got him in that
actually
vet, I'd have been
I felt
handing you
sorry.
clothes into the cop shop.
I mean? You know what I mean?
I actually felt sorry for him. I've never seen anybody apart from Decca Heggie that can age 20 year and 4 year in Decca's case, but he's aged 20 year and 6 months.
You better believe it, man. I don't even know
I showed Donna. I said, she went, "Who's that?" I said, "Pizza Face." She went, "Wow, what's happened to his face?" I went, "I don't know, man. It's like he's I don't know. I really don't know. He's like, I don't know."
You want to see when you're up close to it?
Oh, mate, I
The wee
put
man's
it in the
lad
high
to me.
definition, man. I had to take it off the TV.
The wee man's lad to me. You were right. He is really, really fucking ugly up close, man. Honestly, he's like the ugliest guy you've ever seen, mate. Honestly,
I think that's,
like
to be honest, I think that's the amount of. I think he's been doing a lot of speed or something, mate. He never skinned like that 20 years ago, eh?
He's tired, mate. He looks tired. As if or his computer. He's been hooked into this computer stuff. You know what I mean? Because mate, see when I do lives and that late at night, and the next day I'm hanging like a bag of shit, mate. And the 101 things that I was going to do the day before is out the window. It's out the window the next day. Do you know what I mean? And mate, I'm losing money. They're not cause it. I'm losing money cause it. It's brutal, mate. You know what I mean?
I told you that.
So I need to hang me, mate. I need to get back together. No do these lives. No do these lives. I need to stop talking about that other dauber and all, man, because that's not even going anywhere.
You're just making them relevant, mate. See if you stop talking about them, man, they just go away. It's like nobody's interested in them.
See what it is? It's a monster that feeds itself. If you keep on going on about it, it keeps it fresh and live in your brain. Where if it's going nowhere, you might as well just let it go until it does start going somewhere. Then, because he's more or less keeping himself. You know, he'll respond.
Well, and he's proved himself. He's run to the police and got the boy charged. He's proved himself. He's never got. He was running about wanting to be acting like he's in the criminal fraternity. He's doing this, he's doing that. But they're just a bunch of grasses. Burkett, Cyclops, Conroy. They're all grasses. They can't phone the fucking police quick enough. They phone the police as quick as look at you.
I'm in a group chat with about 40 odd boys. So I'm a football. For football and all the rest of it, and his face is in that. That's his face is, and they're all Glasgow. Do you know what I mean? So it is what it is. Do you know what I mean? Some of them are fucking nutcases. Some of them are nutcases. And I've told them what he's all about, and he's like, "What's all about?" And I went, "Right. The bare fact is, he's a fucking grass. He's a grass. He's got me in court, and he's grassed them other shit. He's setting me up, the full booner." You know what I mean?
Basically, his face will become more popular in fucking Glasgow.
He's going to be popular. You know what I mean? So, I said yesterday when I done my live up at that PDSA thing and all the rest of it. I mean, I've got a better plan, man. I'm going to box clever with this fucking dauber. Do you know what I mean? So I'm just going to make him famous. So,
well, as I was that, I've got opinionated Glaswegians asking me, is Mickey Theo a Decca enabler humble, or is he that Porky Bacon pretend? Listen, that's not Mickey Theo. I know Mickey Theo, right? That's no Mickey Theo's voice on that fake Mickey Theo, mate. That's no Mickey Theo. Trust me, it's no.
I think the Porky's Corner one, the Porky's Corner in there's probably fucking one eye Willie. He says he's got a hit list of 6 people. I hope I'm the first one. I'm telling you.
Mate, Gorillas just said something.
When you go on?
Gorillas has just said something here. I don't know why you just give them all the buy buggies. Honestly, they just get a reaction of you for content. I don't think that it's a reaction. What it is, Ellis stays quiet. Then he'll respond, but of course you've got to say he will respond eventually. Anyone would, so he's going to do that. The only way not to, I think what it was, if you didn't say it in Moto, he'd go quiet on it. You know, that way he'd concentrate on the grass in the shed.
And motorsports, you hold the fort for 5 minutes, 2 minutes. I'm just got to take Donna a drink. Our bloods are a bit high.
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying, but I'm in court for him. I'm in court for him.
Oh, I know.
Wait,
It's
see if I was to fucking go and stick cunts in and all the rest of the way he's doing, I'd get fucking chased out the place. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
And he's just walking about fucking as if he's fucking. I'm going to smash his face in. I'm going to stick him in and all. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You couldn't write. I'm like, what is this guy all about? What the fuck is this guy all about? And he's in his pal's chat, his bum chum's chat, saying he's actually saying in his mate's chat, everybody's hiding when Big Tony's on the road. No, they're not, mate. Big Tony's a dafty. Everybody's hiding their wains when Tony's on the road. That's what they're doing.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? That's
Oh,
what
I know.
They're hiding their wains. Tony's a fucking mug. Fuck's sake.
Just getting
I
went.
don't know where he gets this hard. He's a hard man, for honestly.
Yeah. Oh, I know, but it's just he's playing it very, very cool, isn't he? Very, very cool. But I wish I find it amusing to do. I find it all very, very amusing watching it all. Not from the side of what's happened to you. I mean, from the side of what's happened on the bigger scale. You know, with the pop-up grass and all that. The way it's all happening. Yeah. But
I don't even know anything about that, so I don't get involved with it, but I know what you're talking about, how amusing it is, I get that. And see this Decca thing and all that's just...
That's creepy, creepy.
That's deep now. That's deep. I'll tell you how I say that, right? It's because Decca had a podcast, right? Now he's not got a podcast. He's letting people on. Now you're seeing what's following him. Do you get what I'm talking about? You've got people on there, and I'm saying to these people, right, mate, I'm giving you an incentive. Now, if you believe that paperwork there is thing, mate, I'm giving you an incentive because I know my money's safe. I know that the 35-page article is gospel, right? So if that guy thinks that thing is I would go, right then, no problem, mate. And it's only one way traffic. The money's only one way. It's not as if it's a bet. Oh, listen, it's a gesture for me. Listen, mate, if you can prove me wrong, that's what I'm giving you. And the guy's not interested, which tells me one thing. That only tells me one thing about the guy.
I could get the money to a mutual third party, innit?
Know what I mean? That tells me one thing, that he's...
Hey, but tell us one thing, Moto, right? You know when someone gives a super sticker, right, and it's being shown on both channels, does that mean if they give a £10 super sticker, it's £20 because I get a tenner as well?
I don't know. Not got a clue. I've never been monetized long enough to know.
I just no care to skip the tenner. I want to
monetized.
I'll have to say that's my. I want to.
I thought they took loads of money off the super stickers.
They take 30%, didn't they?
Oh, they take. I did a charity event once, right? No, for Dogs Home, where they were really struggling for food. So I did like this short comedy event to raise money for them, and we raised. I think it was. I forget now, £70 odd. But I had to add it up to the £75 because they whacked 30% off it. I thought that's a bit mean. A bit bleeding mean of them to do that.
Suppose they're running a service, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh God, yeah.
It's the same as that thing, man. How much did they take? I don't think they take that much, but they GoFundMe's.
I don't know. I've never.
I think they take 15%.
Tony and that done one of them to go and do hookers, didn't they? They done a GoFundMe to go and get hookers and that. Amsterdam.
But this is it. Do you know what? That get a coffee thing. I don't know. You see, with me, it would be the type of thing I'd put something like that up, and then I'd be totally embarrassed because no one would ever give to it, and I'd be like, "Oh God, I can't even beg successfully." You know?
I've get one up. I don't get a lot in it, right enough. But when people put something in it, I'm appreciative. Do you know what I mean? Because obviously, the they must like you live at that time or something. Do you know what I mean? Or they feel flush and they're able to put it forward. But aye.
Yeah, that's it.
At Christmas, I made that 140 quid or something. I just gave it away to a homeless guy. So I did.
Yeah, that's what I always feel like it's got to be given away. I mean, I know it's always with me, it's a dog charity that always gets it because I love me dog charities.
You were,
Something like that would be good if you were
you,
giving it to somebody.
you were getting that other guy. You know, getting that other guy money on thing with.
Which one?
It's Steve.
Oh
And this
God,
one, thank
no!
God.
Steve that lives in the mountains.
Aye.
No,
Well, you
no.
know, no, well, you know, yeah, it's
No,
just.
I don't think that would go on his dog somehow.
Aye, it's just cunts talking shit, innit? That's
Mm.
somebody said that. Oh, Anne sends him money or something.
I
Maybe
do
they've
not.
been mixed up with the dog thing or something.
No,
Just
it
two
has
about
to
it.
be a proper my favourite one is the Dogs Trust because I find they keep the dogs. I'd never give to the RSPCA. I can't stand the RSPCA the way they keep the animals and the dogs, and then they put them to sleep. But places like the Dogs Trust, because they keep the dogs really, really comfortable, and they have to. It's so tragic going around when you see the dogs. That's why I couldn't work there because I'd be wanting to take everyone home with me.
Right, guys, I'm going to interrupt here, right? I'm going to use, we've got 279 across the 3 channels here. This is a good time because we've got a different, Anne's subscribers are totally different from Humble's because Anne's a wee bit more careful in what she says. I don't care. Motorsports, I sent you the link so you could actually add it to your channel so it's shared across everybody's channel. It's a new thing StreamYard's doing. But anyway, press 1 in the chat if you think Decca Heggie's 55-page acro is real. And we'll just lay that rumble up there. Press 2 if you think it's fake in the 37 pages. Or 3 if you don't know. I'm going to put a couple of wee votes tonight, guys, so we can just lay the numbers roll in there where we have absolutely no control over it. I can just press them.
Here's one for you, right? Never mind that guy, Stu, whatever, right? If we can prove that the 55-page one is real, I'll give 5k to a dog's charity. I'll prove it. If I can prove that to be unreal, the 55-page one.
This is another thing. I'm sorry, right? I don't care. People are saying, that Dougie Joyce wouldn't have given the 50 grand. Never mind either here or there. But wouldn't you turn around and say, even though you think, I might not get this, you do it. If he's going to phone up the Acro office online and do that, why not say, all right, here we are, Dougie. You phone them up and you get the information online. And then you can give me the 50 grand. If you don't give me the 50 grand, then everyone will know that you don't live up to your word. You can't be trusted.
Exactly.
He never did that, did he? It's all a load of cack. In my mind, this is where I'm not 100% can't prove it, but I've got a feeling he gave in an old reference number and he got the result of an old one. That's if he actually got through to them because they're supposed to be closing the system down until June the 1st.
He was giving it wildy before the fucking woman had even spoke. He's like, fucking as if he was licking a pussy, man. No, get it up, you. I was like, what the fucking weirdo this cunt is, man.
See that Range Rover Vogue that Tony Burkett's running about now? Is that a burnt orange colour one? Because if it is, I know exactly whose it is, and I'll maybe even advertise it tomorrow when they come out with the shopping. It's a burnt orange colour, I think. Yeah.
Burnt orange Evoque. Is it not that guy, the kind of heavy guy?
He was running about with a guy called Ian and some wee bald-headed nugget that looked like something off a kind of litter of pups for Darren G. Kind of shot-down version, inbred version of him.
Aye.
Right, okay. All right, everybody here as well. Press 1 in the chat if you think Paddy Conroy is telling the truth about all these murders and him being blamed for them. 2 if you think I'm telling the truth. 2 if you think I'm telling shit about him, or 3 if you don't know. If you think Paddy Conroy's telling the truth, press 1. If you think I'm telling the truth, press 2. And if you've not got a clue, just press 3. I'm going to put a poll up. Somebody said put a poll up.
I'm
going to put up
number 3 on that one. Not got a fucking clue.
Nah, but that's good. So that means when you're on holiday with us, I didn't fucking poison your head about it.
Nah. Not interested in that shit. It's just that fucking... I'm not interested in it, really, but I've kind of... Well, I wasn't, but I've kind of got interested.
Well, I done a wee video the night because the people that's calling me the biggest troll out there is Decca Heggie. Yeah, we know the background to him. Darren G, we know the background to him.
Oh,
Darren
God.
Lardy, the Beast of Breneston, Child's Home, we know the background to him. Paddy Conroy, we know the background to him. Who's the 5th one I put up? Decca. Oh, Burkett. So there you go. To get called a troll with them lot, I'm going to stick to being a troll.
Burkett's the biggest troll on here, man. He comes in, you can tell him a mile away, he stands out like a sore thumb. You're like, you shake him up, man, when you talk back to him, and he doesn't come back with the account. You shake him, you can tell the way you speak. You can just visualise his words and the words he uses when he's thinging. Do you know what I mean? And you're like, Burkett, sure, you fucking dick. Shut up, and it doesn't come back. I've seen Burkett. See when Burkett's doing a live and somebody comes in, like a troll comes into him, he cannot handle it. He can't handle it. Then he does. So see with Burkett, what works with what he thinks works with other people works with him. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, but Karma Corner's coming in here. Listen, man, I think Karma's got a wee secret thing for you, to be honest, because he's always asking about your underwear.
My wife, if you think shut your face, you Karma Corner. I wear nice little French frillies. I do. French frilly silk knickers.
Oh, don't you better? And I'm going to cut you there. You'll have a ceiling at Deckers in a minute if you don't stop talking about French frilly knickers. He'll be whitewashing the ceiling in a minute. Stop.
Decking his old boy will be having a communal wanking session.
There's John Little said, John, if you are a troll, you're the most honest, genuine troll that only deals in the truth. Well, I certainly take things on that people don't want to take on. But listen, I just want to clear a few things up. A lot of people presume that I'm getting my information from my friend Steve Rafe, Stephen Sayers, and other guys. I can tell you right with my hand on the Bible, my news comes from much, much further afield. And the people like Davey Hislop and Stephen Freeman and that will know exactly my news comes from further afield. If I didn't get the big thumbs up, it wouldn't have been mentioned. Okay, so I just wanted to clear that up. And people can read in between the lines of that all they want. But I wouldn't even go there if I was you. The real honest truth. Respect Buggies, lad. We've got to put a link out for wee Bobby to come on for the next half an hour. You want to come on, Bobby?
You didn't say the other day, did you?
Your channel as well, Motorsports.
Eh?
I think this is getting shared to your channel too, possibly.
Is it?
Honest truth, this should put numbers across to your channel as well, and we know you're an honest guy. And I'll put my screen up in the background to make sure that it's you first. Karma Corner, you deserve to.
Wait a minute, John. He can only come on. Uncle Bobby can only come on if he has this little chihuahua with him.
Hey, talking about chihuahuas, do you notice every time the shit in the shed bad mouths me, his wee dog bites him? Every time he starts bad mouthing myself or Donna, his wee dog tries to take the face off him.
I'm scared because that poor dog is going to catch something with those. I don't know what's on his fingernails, but it doesn't look healthy. Let's put it that way.
His fingernails stink of bullshit, Bill.
Yeah, you didn't see that moto, did you? He was on. Bobby appeared on Decca's Live, giving out. He was giving out, and it was all very intense. The next thing, the moment was just lost when this little chihuahua, the cutest little thing going, appeared on his shoulder and was sitting down as he was giving out. You just couldn't take what he was saying because all you were looking at was this fluffy-eared little chihuahua. Oh, it was gorgeous. Gorgeous little thing. Do you know what we say to gorgeous? Can you imagine if a Chihuahua were as big as a Rottweiler? It would be a killer, wouldn't it? The attitude.
Sunday, we've actually got, between the 3 channels, we've got 323 between myself and Anne. We've got 323 watching. You might only be able to see, depending on what channel you've come in from. I think that's the way it works. So if you're subscribed to Anne and coming in through Anne's channel, which I think you are, because it's got a wee link beside your name that we can see. Do you see it, Anne? David Milney's got a wee link because I think he's come through. Julius has got a wee link beside. Can you see that, Anne?
What about it? Where?
Right. See, if you look at, say, Cindy's name, for example, she's got a wee link beside it, her name. That means she's coming in through the linked up channel.
Oh, is that what means?
I was trying to get to the back of it. Can't come on, John, mate. Got great panel. It's a chinchilla.
A Chihuahua.
Yeah. Delhi in the background. You need
Chinchilla.
to show some sort of face and tell us a story. Balamori. Unfortunately, Delhi. Adele Stoddart. Do you want to come on, love? Or do you not? You've got to say, how the hell did I work out who you were there just as quick as that? Because that's the secrets of being behind the screen. You need to speak to us, pal. I'm not a lip reader and I can't speak to invisible people. No yet. No, Adele, it's not happening, pal. I don't know why. Adele Stoddart, you're in the backstage there. I'm going to screenshot this to prove, just in case I get called a liar. I can't just invite you in. I can't just let you in unless you've got to show me your face.
Oh, Sicario, I can't say anything. Because apparently I'm sexually harassing him. Oh, I mean, for God's sake, I'm sexually harassing that smelly old dodger.
How did you enjoy your day with Video Craig and his lovely missus? And what did you think that your first impression when you met Craig?
Well, at first I was telling him off, which is usual, because I told him to go to a place called the Millennium Centre, and it wasn't their fault. They don't know the area, but they put the postcode in and they went to the shopping centre itself. So I'm waiting outside the Millennium Centre, and I thought I'll just go and look around for them. About 20 minutes or nearly half an hour was there, and then I saw them in the centre. So I was like, "What are you doing here?" So, but yeah, they were fine. But I'm telling you now, he's naughty. Craig is very naughty. He's one of these people. You'd ask him to do something, and he doesn't reply straight away. Though you've seen it. So and it's like, don't keep me waiting. When your queen calls you to court, you come there and then. You don't keep your queen waiting when you get a command to come to court. That's the way I look on it. And he's always been defiant. He's very defiant, very, very defiant.
You see motorsports, you see, just when I'm on the subject, you see when I do a video about, let's say, Pizza Face or that, I always include the pop-up pirate in it. And the reason I do that is because the pop-up pirate appealing to Decca Hagee's fans the other day there to jump on his back. This is the reason I do it. It's because I don't want the pop-up pirate sharing anything of mine ever. Well, I don't want associated with dirty old grassies who will go to a well-known nonce for support. I don't want anything to do with him.
I'm a wee bit angry with him when he says the 55.
But he's trying to pull you in to get your fans on the back of him as well. Yeah. That's what he did. He's a deteriorating old smelly man. That's all he is. An old stinking old grass.
Did? This is what he did, Moto, and I thought, I can't believe he's done that. He literally only has sided with Decca for no other reason, and he said it blatantly, because Decca put up a poll on this channel community asking, do people, believe him or whatever? And 40-odd% said they were with him and believed him. And so the pop-up grasses response to that was, oh, great, I can get in there now. This was the fella, and then he was going on about John saying, "Oh, it's terrible calling people a nonce and all this business." Wait a minute, who was the one that's a meme screaming out about Decca that he's one of them? Him.
Well, that's how we've got a 2-second clip of him going, nonce. That's where that came from, shouting at Decca.
The Tino Start, the thing with Tony and that. He was there with Tony
the
and that.
Child Protection Unit. He gave them the name, the Child Protection Unit.
Yeah, him.
Pizza Face and himself.
Well, this is it. I mean, how the hell could he? Because I said this at the time, and he kicked off about it. I said, how the hell could he, all of them, be involved in a child protection unit, especially him? Would you let a kid near him or any vulnerable adult? No chance. No chance.
I'm being honest. I didn't know who like Tony Burkett was not, and then the next thing I know, I've just seen a video, and I'm here to meet the CEO of the
CPU
of the chip. Aye, and I'm like, fuck man, this must be. I've just seen Tony, right, and I went, this must be quite a heavy dude. It looks as if he's been running the cloak right enough. And I'm looking, I'm going, this must be somebody drafted in to deal with this Decca case and that. The cunt's a pure criminal. The cunt's a pure heavy criminal. And he's got free child grapes on his thing, mate. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here, man? Honestly, what the fuck is going on? He's the one leading the investigation.
Pizza and Crumpet Face has got 86 or 87 pages of an article.
What it is? Who? You're talking about Bakers?
He's got 80. I think it's 87 pages he's got.
I know it's on because I was the first one to pull him up on it. Because what he did, you'll still see the video on my channel. What he did, he did this acro thing on the screen or this saw, and he showed. I think it was only something like, wasn't it 6 pages or something? Or it might have been 16. No, it might have been 16. And I looked and I could see at the top that there was a hell of a lot more than 16. Well, why I challenged him was that at that time, me and Uncle Bobby were at Loggerheads because he was in with the American Podcaster, and Tony went on there and started slacking me off. This was after Tony was talking to me privately in on Facebook, trying to feed me information because he's a right snitch. Yes, he's a terrible snitch, Tony. You can't tell him. And I knew he was, so I never gave him information. But he'd be always trying to give me information, so I'd do something. In other words, to use me. So anyway, he did. That's what I thought. You Two-Face, get. And then I handed it on a plate and put it out there. I said, wait a minute. I said, 16 pages. I said, what the hell is on the rest? And then it all blew up. Like mad.
Sorry, I just had to block one of Daniel Bell's channels there. Be off with you, Dark Horse. When you start coming away for the dark side into the light, I'll maybe give you a wee bit of slack there. But I will answer your question. When did I out Tony? Was it 2019? No, I outed Tony when Paula Benny went on it through media, who got on at me to ask to see Burkett's acro. And then I heard in the same week the message where Decca had cut short when he said, but you told me you'd been done twice, something for Grape, Tony, or you'd been done for Grape. The message always stopped here. And it wasn't until last year we heard the full message. That's when I went after him. And the video's still up because I was playing about with the app where I looked older and I looked younger, and the video's still up.
Remember that?
And then I found out that he was telling Cumbrian Truth, who Paddy's wife put in a statement. By the way, Paddy's own words, because he threatened to burn down the farm. I don't know how he'd burn down bricks, but anyway, the Cumbrian Truth boy, who I can put my hand in the Bible, I never phoned up any probation officer. I was trying to find him. His motorsports found him first, but he could jump the fucking fence like a hyena.
John,
yeah.
I can't read. I haven't got my reading glasses on. Ronnie Potts has just said something. You couldn't put it on the screen, could you? Ronnie Potts.
That one.
Yeah, it's bigger now. Oh dear, I wish I hadn't asked you to put that up now.
Child porn on his hard drive, Paddy blames his son.
Oh,
why the second lie detector Paddy wasn't released. Under investigation, Paddy was for porn on his Sandra. Well, you know what? You're actually telling the truth there, because if Paddy hadn't run out and put a message on Facebook, yeah, what happened was he get caught. Right, let's say things he said spam appeared in his computer. So we'll give Paddy's side of the story here. His wife come through and went, Paddy, she barely looks 16, right? Now, that's what Paddy said. But the real story is his wife went out and told neighbours because she wanted him out. She'd had enough. Paddy put up a statement on Facebook, which I've got somewhere, right, saying that basically the police in Bomb had hijacked his, hacked his system, and images had appeared and all the rest of it. What that message was then sent to somebody else. Obviously, Stephen Sayers seen it and thought, you know what, this is, you know, I'm going to advertise, because you've got a guy that's went about calling him a grass for fucking 20 odd year. He's got to go and advertise this. And the Paddy being the old school villain, you'd have thought he'd have went and sorted it out fist to fist or whatever. But no, he run to the police and made a 5-page statement.
Old school villain. Do you know what, right? Old school villain. I've got more old school villain in me than him. In respect-wise, I've said this again. I will never report anyone unless they start reporting me. That's a big mistake he's made.
There you go, and here's a prime example. Paddy, pop-up pirate, a couple of weeks ago, somebody in his chat and said, please report Humble's video for violence, blah, blah, blah. Humble needs to report it. Paddy's reading out all these comments, because I've got it there, saying, aye, Humble does need to report it and taken off YouTube. Now, wait a minute, Paddy. I've given you the go-ahead to say my name out there all the time. Just stay away from the missus, Paddy. We know you got a wee fossil one to her, even her voice. But stay away from her. But Paddy then asked his subs to go start reporting me. Now, Paddy, if I start doing that to you, how do you think that would end?
Yeah.
You've not used the head there. I still haven't reported you today, but if people go out and report you, Paddy, well, two's up to you. You're asking people to report other people's channels for you. And the only reason you're doing that is because you're thick as fucking mince and you don't know how to do it yourself.
This is it with him, right? The pop-up. I don't know who you're talking about. But I'm talking about the pop-up grass.
Sorry, I was talking about pop-up.
Well, the pop-up grass in the shed. You know, this is it. He's given the leeway now. Well, if it's all right for him to do it, anyone can do it back to him. And he doesn't realise that, and he's got a hell of a lot. Do you notice a lot of his videos have been made private? And the vast majority of them. Yeah.
He's made over 700 videos calling people grasses and everything.
I just think... But this is the thing, think of the monetization he's losing on them by keeping them private. Because people go back on your videos. I've had videos that I haven't looked at for ages, and I suddenly look at them and they're over 100,000, you know, clicks on it. He won't be getting that now. He won't be getting that. So that's what happens when you go round grassing people up.
I think his police handlers told him, because if, as I said, right, so let's say there's a bunch of guys up at court soon, right, who are looking at 15, 20 years for conspiracy to attempt murder, criminal damage, aggravated burglary, etc., etc. If they boys can then go and get a solicitor to prove that it was all made up and lies off the back of a police informer, what's the word I'm looking for it now? If you can prove, listen, they're not capable, but if they can prove that a lie was created by a police informer, they'll get their sentence down to 3 years. They'll put in 18 months. Agent provocateur is what they need to ask for, because at the end of the day, there's too much evidence out there that guys are managing. Like, let's say the people that hate me right now, I'm giving them a wee lifeline here and saying how you can get your sentence for 15, 10, down to 3 years. If you can prove that it was all made up lies by a police informer who was being handled with the police to create a war, a fake tough war that didn't exist, you'll be quids in there. You'll be quids in. He's been handled one way or another. He's been handled. He sacrificed his life. And another thing, he goes on about these grasses like David Glover and all them. There was an instant where Paddy said in a nightclub, right? Was it Fox nightclub or something? There was a nightclub. How come after it, Paddy, you went and worked with the guys after it? After you said that you knew they were all working for the police, but you went and still worked with them afterwards. Why? How would you go and do that if you were staunch?
Yeah.
And how would you know just go and do another lie detector test, Paddy, and put this all to bed? Because we know how you dictated the first one. We can never see any video of it. You said that it's because they're building a case. No, it's because 12 years ago they didn't keep the videos that long, Paddy. Yeah, you wouldn't pay for the video, I don't think. There's too much, and you really need to look into Operation Insight, because his name's never been mentioned once.
Well, it's because
his
he wants
family
to
was,
be.
but he's never been mentioned once.
He
Not
wants
once
to
has
be
he been
famous.
mentioned.
Look, Rice, he's the most unusual or unexpected gangster. He wants to be a gangster, but in my mind, he was just a bully and a thug. And that's what he was, a bully and a thug.
Yeah.
So
He's
not a
always
gangster.
wanted. He's so jealous. I mean, this is true. His wife said to somebody, Maureen, his ex-wife said, if he'd said my name that much in bed as he did Stephen Sayers, would every chance we could have worked things out and been together.
Yeah.
If you don't believe, go and watch her when she was on the documentary, when folk were saying everybody thinks I've got a great lifestyle. You want to come and sit and try it for a day. He actually bricked his windows up. The Sayers were meant to have got a pub across the road for him, right? He got that paranoid. He bricked his windows up. He never shut the curtains. He bricked his fucking windows up with paranoia. Folk were driving by his house and the windows were bricked up, going, "What the fuck's going on here?" That's how bad a paranoia. And that's true, because I've somebody told us, in fact, Brian, I think they said the first time, and I went and double checked it. He bricked his windows up, man, as if he was in some fucking war. I've heard of people getting fucking metal shutters, but no bricks.
Hey. Language. Right, here we go. I'm going to put something up now, right, which you've got to. Here we are. You've got to do it, right. Here we are. Put this on there, right. Put this on the screen. I've just put something up there. Can you see it, John? I think the name's on
This one here. A most intriguing lady, Sarah Ferguson.
May I just say that is Sarah Ferguson's latest book, and I strongly recommend it because Her Heart for a Compass, her first book, was absolutely a fascinating page turner. So I'm just advertising for latest Sarah Ferguson. Oh, go on. That was nice. You didn't leave that up there bleeding long, did you? Oh, her first book, Her Heart for a Compass, was a page turner. 500 pages of I can't put it down. So people go and order her book. She was a brilliant author. So there we are. Just thought I'd say that.
Yeah. What about Joe Kidd getting porn bombed while he was talking about the EncroChat thing?
Oh, I didn't hear about that.
Didn't know about that, mate.
It was. So people are wanting updated with the EncroChat thing, and nobody else will put it on their channel. Like the big podcasters and stuff like that. They don't want to talk about it in case they get fucking shut down or whatever. Anyway, he's putting it up, and they get porn bombed in the middle of it.
Well, this is what's going to happen, and this is the thing. It sounds funny, when people are porn bombing, and that's what I don't agree with what's happened to Decca. All right, channel taken down and all this, but once you start that trend, everyone gets it. Then you're terrified who you're going to let on your lives, and it just harms everyone. But apparently, Simon's getting blamed for one now, isn't he, against Decca?
Is he?
Well,
yeah.
I find that most of them using the fact that Dickie Higgy get porn bombed with his own video to get his channel hit.
Yeah.
I think that's brilliant. Getting porn bombed with your own video. He's got to take that to YouTube and he's got to appeal it and show them he's himself pulling his todge on that train. I mean, that's comedy gold. Fair play to whoever's responsible for that. Big 10 out of 10. If it was Video Craig. Well done, Video Craig.
Did you see that?
Catching him in his own trap. Brilliant.
Did you see the one?
You imagine YouTube saying, show us what bit you got done, Ken, what bit, and there's a video of him swinging the truth about in a train. A Virgin train it was as well.
Did you see the one where he went, he knows it's Video Craig, but I've got another plan. Then he came in and then he played that one. Her name was Amy. She was 12 or 11 years.
Yeah. That was brilliant, that one. That was brilliant. Because he must be, yeah.
Oh, fucking hell, there must be like it, fuck. I don't know how he can sick about us YouTube, man. He must be galvanised to fuck with us, man. Honestly.
That was... Because didn't he deny knowing who she was? And that's why Craig did it.
Aye, because he let it go that long, then he says, "Oh, there was nothing." Then Craig went like, I've got that video. I've got that
Even I
video
could
there.
remember that being played
Aye.
ages ago. Because he did it,
Aye,
he used himself, didn't he, in his reveal or his exposure.
Expose it, aye. And he
I
put
remember that.
he put the thing behind it and all that because it was obviously because he was talking about a real ass, he put all the dramatic tunes and that behind it.
What does that mean? I don't know whether you know this, but you two are Scottish, aren't you? What does Mada sells Kunsel mean?
My dad sells Kunsel. That means either sells a bit of pollen back in the day or a bit of Kunsel, which is basically benzocaine mixed in with a very little amount of cocaine. Basically, my dad sells Kunsel, or it could be a bit of pollen. If you're 47, 48-year-old like me, a bit of Kunsel meant a bit of solid cannabis back in the day, but obviously Kunsel now means mixed up cocaine.
Yeah,
I'm
nose blocker. You call it nose blocker back in the day.
Fucking Kunsel got me 4.5 years. That's what Kunsel got me.
Dear. Is that what you got the 4.5 for? Was it Kunsel? Aye.
I got 4.5 an ounce. I got a year an ounce. You know what I mean? There's cunts coming in getting caught with 4 boxes, 4 and 5 boxes. They're getting 4 years, and I'm in there with half a bar.
A corner.
No, half of a corner, mate. Know what I mean? With 4.5 years, I went like, hold on here, man. What's going on here?
And you also got a possession order as well, didn't you? But yet they're running about calling you grass, mate. You know, this is the thing. You know, the grasses are running about calling you grass.
Oh, no. 4.5 ounces, 6 year, 9 months, down to 4.5 years. That's what I got. 6 year, 9 months, mate. 6 year, 9 months, down to 4.5 years. Know what I mean? Down to 4.5 years.
I bet you everybody allegedly sold it to him and was like, but I'll sell some right Kunsel is shite. I remember being in the jail back in 1999. A couple come in. It was front page Daily Record. Cocaine king. He got caught with a kilo and got caught a kind of prop and a press and got 4.5. 4.5 years. And they get kept at Bow, and they ended up going to Castle Huntly within, I don't know, they were in Castle Huntly about 22 months or something. They got to Castle Huntly.
That's an hour hanging on. Cunts were getting bigger sentences in me and being up the castle before me. I went up the castle and I went, fucking glad to be out of that fucking Glen Oka. I went, when did you come up? As if to my mate, he get caught with a fucking machine gun. And I says, when did you come up? And they went, I've been up here for 6 months. I went, what? 6 fucking months? I'm just fucking here.
How long were you up the castle for, Deco?
9 months. 9 months.
What year was that?
Well, I get sentenced in 2014, I think. I was in 22 high security, 22 months or something.
Right, see, without mentioning any names, see that door we went and chapped that day for that boy's sister-in-law was getting heavy.
Aye.
Well, he'd have been in bar and about that time. He'd just got a bar about that time.
I was only in bar for 4 weeks, mate.
All right. And so you get 4.5. So
they try to send me to shots, then they come back and says, you've not got shots, you've got enemies there. I've got intel, you've got enemies. So I couldn't go there.
But mate, folk were putting that in their forms and didn't have enemies so they could get to other better jailed folk. Because I've seen folk putting enemies. I said, have you got enough? I thought, but they'll put me to such and such. And the majority of times it worked for them.
Aye. They came back and told me I had an enemy.
And did you like the Castle Huntly, Deco? I was never up. Did you like it compared to no?
It was all right when you got out, but it's like haunting yourself. It was all right when you went out, then you were out for a week, then you haunted yourself back, and you were in for a week, and maybe back out, or maybe in for 2 weeks. But see when you haunted yourself back in, you were in for a 4 week or a 5 weeker. You're
And
walking
for
about with your
any
wee
the
fucking...
benefit of anybody watching, Castle Huntly is an open prison. Pardon me. Who I've never. I know a lot of people who's been, but I also know the majority of people that I knew went to Castle Huntly that maybe kind of took drugs in the odd weekend and that come out with a lot of people get returned back to jail because they were in a power of debt. That they gathered because there was that many phones and available drugs, and a lot of people get into a lot of debt, and just they done something stupid, so they'd get sent back to the prison they came for.
Well, I told you what Sharon Davis said, didn't I? Which made my mouth drop. You know, Sharon Davis, the ex-Olympic swimmer, and she was talking about Scotland, and this blew me away. She said, "You know, Scotland is the highest for drug problems in Europe." And she said, "But get this," she said, "when I'm saying the highest, it's 4 times more than the next city in Europe." And I thought, what? 4 times? I mean, that's serious. That is a serious problem that's going on there. Serious. And but no, sometimes this. You know, when you hear sometimes the lives. Now, of course, you hear people, you know, they're smacked off the face on them, but when you go and hear some of the Scottish lives, there seems to be an awful lot that really are smashed out the brains. And it's like, this is a serious problem. A serious problem.
I think what you'll find is a lot of boys are on methadone and they maybe take like Valium and Topi at night time. I can tell. I've been there. I done it for fucking years. I never done methadone, but I know.
I'm laughing at a guy up the castle, man. He was a full of spice, and he had a backpack on. So when you go to your door, did you go to the castle? No.
No, I was never there, mate.
Obviously, he's dubbed his door. He's left his hangme on. He's chapped it next door. He's bollock naked with a backpack on full of spice, and he's like, "Moan." He's like, "What do you mean, moan?" He's like, "What do I turn? I've got a house in Bearsden." And he's went, "Mate, you're mad, mate. Get fucking hangme." He had to phone the screws, and they decanted him right out of jail. He was a lifer. Out his box on spice. I think he was tanning houses.
And was there a lot of spice up there back then, Deco? Because that's a lot of folks asked me that when I was last in 2014, and there was no spice in that Low Moss. No, that I knew, none whatsoever.
I know.
No in the jail there wasn't, but in the castle there was, mate. Aye.
I know the cure. I know what will help a lot of Scottish people. You know, will help them avoid drugs. Here we are. I'm going to put something up now. You just buy this and read a nice romance. A nice romance, and that will stop you wanting to use drugs, won't it? Wouldn't you like that motto? A nice romance story about, you know, love and passion.
Hey, you can't see Bluebell's hand now. He's got his kit, man.
Stop it, you. Stop it. Stop it.
Oh, they talk about the sex in that channel.
Oh, God.
Oh, dear.
I just keep going. Keep going.
Keep going.
Hey. Do you realise that I put Sarah Ferguson's name up there and you're talking like that? She's almost a princess. Well, she was a princess, wasn't she? And you're talking like that.
There's a good picture. That's a turnout of a police convoy coming to collect the biggest supergrass known to the northeast because they brought him back home in a police taxi. I just wanted to point that out.
Who was that?
Pop-up pedo.
Oh, Pop-up pedo.
That's the gates into his railway. I mean, farm.
Yeah.
I mean, railway level crossing.
See that there? Is that the railway camera that's took that?
I don't know, mate. It looks either that or a drone or something. Somebody's climbed up to the scaffolding on his derelict farm. I really don't know. But that was the morning he was arrested on conspiracy to attempt murder and aggravated burglary, etc. At a cafe in Newcastle.
Do you know what? I'm telling you, you know when people do that, you know, they go after you know, local shops or something like that, or people's houses, I think that's so low because it affects the person's life and the you know. Can you imagine working? It used to happen a lot to off licenses, and you can imagine there being in an off license, someone comes in and does that. Could you go to work again? You'd be suffering a bit from PTSD, wouldn't you? Someone with a gun or a knife or something, And burglary, I mean, it just unsettles a person that someone's been in the house, doesn't it?
It's the fact that it's struck at date, kind of at dinner time when the kids, find the kids were there, etc. It just shows you the strength of them. But again, like every action's got a reaction. It was built on the back of lies, spread by a jealous old grass with dirty fingers, told to an absolute oddity who's got a Johnny on for somebody's daughter, and he thought he could set out to impress and get boys lifted up basically on the back of lies, and they'll no put a certain person on the spot. So I'm giving them a lifeline and telling them how to get their sentence reduced. Listen, at the end of the day, they videoed it themselves. They put it out there themselves. They made no secret about it. It was said in a shed a few nights before it what was going to be happening roughly. Wait and see what happens. Wait and see what happens. And then it is what it is, I suppose. I just find it terrible that it was built on the back of a load of lies and nobody done their due diligence because they had Johnny on for somebody's daughter, which we'll get to, I'm sure.
You sound like the pop-up grass when you say due diligence. Due diligence.
Well, if somebody was telling me somebody was just a grass ant, I would go and check out what exactly. It didn't matter. If somebody was to come and say, listen, Humble, that's such and such, I would go and check out before I went and... People need to realise I was a fan of them beforehand. And this is the thing. It wasn't until I realised that certain people were telling the truth was my turning point.
A nice...
he forgets what he forgets what he put up in these 2 Facebook accounts, and he forgets like other people. I mean, you get into his chat every night. It's the same people all the time. You could have 800 to 900 people watching, and it's only the same people commenting. Why is that? Because everybody else is blocked. Everybody else is blocked. I maybe put up a wee poll this week to see who's all blocked from his channel. That would be interesting. Keep an eye for my community post this week, guys, on the 2 channels, Humble Dryer and Official Humble Dryer, and we'll see the truth of these people watching. It's a bit like Decca saying, I've got 1,000 people in the chat. I'm king of the chat. No, 990 of them want to see your downfall.
That's what I was saying. It's when you see what people are commenting, but it's also like it doesn't last. Because look what happened with the Golden Boy. Do you remember Darren G? He was the clickbait. What? He'd get them in. Now he struggles. He struggles really hard. So it's something that never lasts. And I've always said that, so it doesn't last. He thinks he's riding high, famous, and he's got people kissing his ass on his show, which is so embarrassing. But Decca doesn't realise it never lasts. You're always having to go for something else.
See that? Why is he still in a fucking? Why is he still in a wee room?
A lot of people don't know this, right? But Mr. Ferris put out a tweet on Twitter offering this man here, a computer tech wizard, to find out what really happened with all these messages to underage girls and that. And he didn't want it. He didn't. Somebody who was going to put their name to offered them free help with a computer genius to get to the back of it. But again, he didn't take him up, and it says it all. See you later, Darren.
What were you saying, Moso? You were saying something then, weren't you?
For what was I saying now? What did I say again?
I can't remember. You started then, John. Said that.
Sorry, I was interrupted. Dana Davy.
Yeah, aye. Dana Davy. Yeah. Do you think when Birdshot and Ellis went to Amsterdam, that bird shit has videoed Ellis getting into the gas cookers, and that's what he's got out of him.
I didn't see that.
That and a few other things. He's got a few other things on him. He's got at least 2 birds on him. Where when he was going up to see Paula, he's got at least 2. Because if I've got one, he'll have more than me. I just wanted to point that out, Paul.
Right.
I think. Do you not think Apollo should get back engaged? Because I liked somebody to argue with, and he was quite diplomatic.
I liked Apollo. I really liked Apollo because I know he did. He balanced the books. Apollo. He really did balance the books. That's right.
Tony was terrified for him.
Aye.
Tony was fucking terrified for him.
A lot of folks said that Brett May caught up with him and found out who he was. Well, if that's the case, I'd have thought the name would have been out there long before now. We're presuming it's a guy only because of the voice, but I mean, it could have been a lassie putting it through a voice changer. It's sounded like Darren G, to be honest, but it's not him.
Do you know who was another one that suddenly vanished? And he was doing really, really well with numbers. Do you remember My Favourite Demon? He just vanished.
Aye, My Favourite Demon, he was doing really well. He was selling T-shirts. He was doing well, and he was going to be coming back and letting us all know what he thought about the Decca Heggie, etc. But again, it went away. It's my brother's birthday. Could I please get a happy birthday to Ben, please?
No. Do you know what? It's always Ben's birthday. He goes round every single channel saying, "Could I have a happy birthday?" Ben's birthday last year was like over a 5-day period. He was on everywhere.
All right. Well, I've just given him. I've just happy birthday, Ben. But I've just put.
And if you don't say,
here, I've just put your man here on time out for being rude and asking for 5 days. That's terrible. It's only me does that.
No, but you know the thing that CBK General, he does that, and then he starts saying, if you don't say, he says, "Oh, Ben's crying now."
So here's one for you. I was going to put this up in the multiple choice thing. Given the fact that obviously Pizza Face is with Paula, and he's got to Amsterdam. Many hookers do you think he battered into before he went home?
Well, it depends. The funds were running low, wasn't it? I remember them begging for petrol money because they never had enough to get to a. So I'm going to say between the time they bought maybe half ounce of grass, a couple of cakes, a couple of rockets, they wouldn't have had that much for the red light district. However, I'm quite sure the Steve's won it. Well, I think Paul would be left in the other option to buy him one because Burkett likes him young. So it's either that or one off the street, you would never know.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, it was a paedophile hunter. It was a paedophile hunter actually. Got in touch with us not that long ago, and it's no somebody that's on YouTube or that. She got in touch with us through Instagram. I've known of them for a long time. She went, Have you ever had a look down Tony's friends on Instagram? I said, to be honest, I've never bothered. She went, have a wee look. So I went and had a wee look. And yeah, they were all young lassies. I'm not saying they were underage, but they're certainly between 16 and 21 years of age. Probably. That's how him and Decca fell out, because Decca was adding them all.
That channel
adding all his female friends for Instagram. And some of them
channel
allegedly
dafties. That outed them for all you sang me story that.
Exposing dafties, any of my mods there, can any of my mods go and share exposing dafties?
I outed them because it put that Silence and Alarms tune at the end of it. Goodbye horses. That reminds you of Tony, he reminds you of that guy, Buffalo Bill, didn't he? Obviously.
Oh, definitely. Decca's a bit of Buffalo Bill. 2 seconds, we'll be back in a minute. I'm just got to check my messages.
It's always buggering off, isn't it? I'm just looking at Decca's here. I haven't got the sound playing. God, yes, who's that at the bottom? Looks like a. Oh, I don't know. I can't remember his name. Do you know it's all kiss ass Decca, and the grin on him here. He's enjoying every minute of it. You can see it in his eyes. It's like, I'm using you here. You fools, you're all falling for this. Honest to God.
See that Decca? Honestly.
Yeah. Oh, he's made
What's
up.
He's fucked her. He's an empty shell. He's just a now. Ah, fuck it. He's an out and out pedo, man. Honestly, out and out rapist, pedo, the full booner. I hate the cunt.
Oh my god, I might have got to boots.
If anybody recognises Ellis Dobbing here, get in touch with us via Twitter or Instagram. There's a few things here I just want to piece together with the... Sorry, Davey, but you did start it, Davey. You did bring these people to the fort. You and Stephen, that's right. I just want to get to the back of things before I put them out there, Egg Chapel, okay?
Anyway, I'm going to have to take my leave and say goodbye because my shoulders are absolutely killing me. They're starting to go into my neck. And so...
Sorry, Anne. That was my fault. I pressed that by accident there.
So did you hear what I said?
Yeah, you said you were going to have to go, but then I pressed that video and then you got to go.
Yeah, but if I come out of this now, will that cut it off my channel?
Yeah, I think so, Anne. I'm not sure because that's the first time I've used it.
Well, I'll see what happens anyway. We'll learn. But anyway, that was a great chat, John. Lovely talking to you again. And Moto, I said to John last time,
if somebody from Anne's subscribers could have a wee look after Anne goes off to make sure, so I can swear a wee bit more, make sure that Anne's not live and come back and tell me, please.
But yeah, I was going to say we'll have to do that one where me, you, Moto get on the live and you're drunk again, John, right? We want the funny drunk again, okay?
Oh no, I get around when I'm drunk.
Take care now, and you
Thanks
have
for coming on,
stage. Okay, bye-bye now.
I'm sure the pop-up pedo would have appreciated that.
Take care now, everyone. The chat.
Can somebody go and have a wee look in Anne's channel, please, to make sure that it's not carried across to Anne's.
That channel, 2 seconds, I'm answering this point.
What's that going to be offered?
Look, he's got a VM for $2.5 or something.
Muhammad D. Ali, Decca's just ended with a threat to Humble & Co. Well, unfortunately, his threats are empty. A wee bit like his IQ. His threats go nowhere. He couldn't even have me on a live with him for 2 minutes. I'm quite sure I'm going to take his threats seriously.
The first thing
Anne's gone, but still live. Anne's gone, but live still going. So can you still see Humble? You're still up on Anne's. Okay, so I need to behave myself. Bugger.
Derek, I'm not answering this for you, but...
So language, please. Okay, Anne. Okay. No language. No language. So yes, guys, if you can help me, this is a wee bit of footage from... This was supposed to be something connected to Davy Hidslope, and somebody said it's a welder was welding his van, but again, I would just call it karma. They seem to be falling apart with their own crimes, thuggish behaviour, some would say. I found out here this man wasn't a policeman. Was somebody who was allegedly trying to be blackmailed, and I think Davey came good and kind of let the guy know what was happening, for what I can gather. And for anybody just clicking in, I'm just going to play a wee bit of Decca Heggies, page 42 of 55.
No further action. Originator 03 Cumbria Constabulary. Offence description. Cause, incite a girl under 13 to engage in sexual activity. No penetration. Offence dates 1603-04 to the 15th of the 3rd 05. Disposal NFA. No further action.
So there you go, guys. It wasn't just a weekend thing. That was over just under a year, actually. You heard it there, Derek? Page 42 of 55. Yeah. You've already admitted to everybody, Derek, you get NFA'd on the 11-year-old, Derek. So don't come your shit talk and try and say that 55-page acro isn't real. It's as fucking real as my face on here.
Another thing, I need you to phone me straight away.
Okay, mate. I'm just got to cut this anyway because that's I was only meant to go on for half an hour and I'm up early crack of dawn.
Phone me Instagram, right?
Okay, son. Okay. No, speak to you soon.
I want to hang me something.
Okay. Guys, everybody else that's tuned in, all you dark horses there, he didn't get away. He didn't get away far. All the other non-enablers, stick in there. You'll see the light sometime. That was a painstaking explanation. These 55 pages. It was so John Little. So they're all there. Going to official humble dryer. Just get in Decca Heggies acro. Full acro. It's all there. Go away and watch it all. And I'm going to lovies and leavies. Hit the likes on the way out, guys, for Andrew Goyne and Motorsports. Don't bother a fuck about me because I'm not interested in them. If I wanted them, I'd buy them like you, Paddy. Anyway, take care, guys. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. That's my wee bird talking to me there. Yeah, see you later, folks. Bye-bye.